Okay, we are live. So I said that I was going live tonight. So welcome everybody who's watching live or the recording. I decided we needed to come live tonight because we are hearing stories and they're piling up. And so we are hearing stories of people having success with their iron levels changing. So we thought we'd bring a couple people on tonight to share with you their story of success using some of our Trinot products, because I know some of you have been watching and you're curious, is it just one of those things that doesn't work? Is it just another one of those companies? Now, I wouldn't partner with any company that I didn't 100% believe in, trust, and know that it would be effective. And so I am so pleased with the results we're seeing. So I, myself and Benny, we have been working together to share this and change lives across Canada, US, and across the world. And so, Benny, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce our first friend who's going to share.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. And for those of you who don't know Jen, I'm just going to pass it back to her for a second. Jen is a holistic nutrition practitioner. She is amazing and she has such a commitment to health and clean ingredients. And I'm so grateful that you're on tonight. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Chantel. I've known Chantel for a few years now. She is a busy mama. She works full time. And she sent me a message a couple days ago, and I was just so excited for how you're feeling. So I would love for you to just share with people what you've been experiencing so far.
Thanks, Benny. Hi, as you heard, I'm Chantal, and I'm excited to share that September last year, I went to the doctor for unrelated things, and she said, okay, let's do some blood tests. And the blood test came back, and I was low in iron and, a bunch of things. And she put me on some supplements and some iron supplements. And I went back in April to get results, and she just said, oh, this is way too low. I would need to do an iron infusion. So I said, well, at that point, I was looking at Trinont and gut health and all these things. So I thought, I kind of convinced her to say, just give me a chance. I just want to try something else first. I just want to see if this is going to work. And so I took the Glow, the InReach, as well as the Mojo. And I was at that point still feeling very bloated. I was always constipated. I actually had to take stool softeners often just to, survive through all of the cramps and things. And so started using the InReach. I boosted myself with the InReach just more because of I know how I was feeling. And so 2 months later, I got my results back and my iron is up. And I feel amazing. The Mojo is giving me that energy back that the low iron takes away. So I'm happy to say that it's going upwards. So things are looking good that I don't need to go for the infusion in the end. So I'm just happy. I'm happy that it turned out this way. And it was, after all, just my gut wasn't working well. So I wasn't absorbing that iron that I keep on drinking every day. And so I'm very happy about that.
Oh my gosh, that's
incredible.
so awesome, Chantel. And you were sharing with me that you've had more success in getting your iron up in the last 2 months than the past 7 months previous, which is
that's right. Because I mean, in September I was there, got my blood results, and it was low, but April was actually worse. So that's when it was to the point where I had to go for the infusion, and then 2 months later, and my iron's going up. So you just see that makes a difference. So that was awesome.
Incredible. So it's not always like a deficiency of what's coming into our body, right? And it's really interesting how we're seeing this pattern happen now as we're seeing people experience the products. And one of the things I wanted to share is iron infusions can be good, but they are always temporary because they're just not getting at the root cause of the problem, right? And so, they might be helpful in the situation, but again, it's that Band-Aid treatment effect instead of correcting so that we can actually absorb our iron from our food, right?
Yeah, and that's
I'm
exactly
so
what I
thrilled
was
with
going
your
for.
results.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled
Yeah,
with your
thank you.
results. Okay, so I'm going to introduce our second guest. So Melissa, if you guys have been watching, my lashes have been pretty hot lately, right? Well, Melissa is actually my lash technician. She's amazing. She's a mama of 2 little boys. She is an entrepreneur at heart. She has a couple of different hustles and is busy. She's doing all the things. And though health has been a priority, and she's been really working on her health, and she's had some struggles with health. And I have always, my heart is always there to help you in any way I can. And I'm going to let you pass it off to you, Melissa, to share what the story that you shared with me. Because when Melissa shared with me her story, I was like, oh my gosh, that's another one. That's another one. We need to get this story out there because people need to see the success that we're having. So Melissa, can you share some of the struggles that you had before as it relates to iron deficiencies and how long you experienced it and what has happened since?
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, I like sharing my story because somebody else sharing their story is what had me, right, start and try the products and your knowledge and everything as well. So I met Jen about I think close to like 14 years ago now at a health and wellness conference. And ever since then, she has been my go-to for my holistic health concerns, which has been basically everything because the doctors try things and nothing works. And then Jen tells me to do certain things and it works. So when she moved onto the Trinant products, I knew that it was something that I had to try because I've dealt with low iron all my life. My family and stuff deals with it as well. So they're next to get on these products as well. I've tried lots of supplements. I have a naturopathic doctor as well, or otherwise known as functional medicine. I've tried liquid supplements, pill supplements, powdered supplements, all different kinds. And the worst part about it was they made me sick. It didn't matter how I took them or when I took them or with food or without food, they always made me sick and they tasted terrible and the smell was horrible and I just couldn't do it. And then, so I kind of gave up. Honestly, I've spent almost $1,000 on 3 different rounds of all the supplements I'm supposed to have to take for all of my deficiencies on my blood tests. But I never actually took them because I had to take at one point, because you have to take like, let's say like 4 magnesiums a day and like 2 or 3 irons or whatever it was, and your B vitamins and all of these things. And it was like 12 to 15 pills sometimes. And I have some eating disorder issues that also pose a big struggle in absorbing iron. I'm also celiac, so even more issues with absorbing nutrients and iron especially. But then I had some female issues that also affected my iron. And again, trying to take all these things and possibly going for infusions as well. I had a girlfriend who was also going through that issue and she had adverse effects to the iron shots. So I was afraid to get them because my body is very, very sensitive. So I decided to, of course, reach out to Jen and I was like, okay, I heard someone else's story and it was actually not even about the iron. It was, what was her, for the fibromyalgia, for the pain and everything in her body. So I took the collagen, which was absolutely incredible. But then I also took the Enrich, and now I haven't taken the Enrich because of the struggles I do have, I struggle at taking them on a regular basis. However, I just recently went to the doctor again because technically I'm at the worst I've been with my eating disorders and my absorption rates, but somehow my iron has increased. And it hasn't been because of my intake of food, again, because I'm doing the worst, quote unquote, that I have with my current eating disorder. So I've dropped to below 100 pounds, but my iron has gone up. And they didn't even say anything about supplements or taking anything this time. And I was like, oh, what about my iron? And they're like, no, it's looking great. Like it's a little bit, low. You could get it up higher, but it's pretty good. And I was like, pardon me. Like
Mhm.
this has been my entire life. I was like, and what I like about the Enrich pills is that it's only like 2 at the most, and they don't taste bad and they don't have an aftertaste. And they're just simple and easy to take. And yeah, they're amazing. So I really, really recommend. I wish that the product had come out a long time ago because I've been struggling for, well, especially the last, basically since I've known you. So like 14, 15 years.
Mhm.
So thank you for also introducing me to the products and letting me listen to other stories and stuff like that, because I'm really glad that I tried these products, and I hope that other people who are struggling will give it a shot and see how quickly, which is crazy, it changes. So I look forward to seeing how my health will improve as I continue to improve with not only those products, but the intake of all the delicious food that is out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love you. You're
Thank you. Love
amazing.
you.
I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.
I know, right? It's gonna be
I
awesome.
get to see you tomorrow morning. So thank you so much for sharing your story. It's super powerful. You're a warrior. You've had lots of struggles to bust through, and you're busting through them. And I am so excited to see, like, over time what all of this will do for you, because we've already seen some fantastic strides forward with the little bit that you have tried here and there.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it'll do when I take them on a regular basis. Because if it's already increased them to where they're saying I don't need anything, then how good is it going to be when I'm taking them daily?
And that's something really powerful, like, to
Yeah,
have
like how does it
results
go
and
out
not
when I'm
even be
not
taking
even
it
doing it?
consistently. Like,
Yeah,
man, what would happen if we take it consistently?
yeah, totally.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I thank you guys for
you.
watching and listening to the stories. We just wanted to add a few more little pieces just to kind of share with you. Like, I had already kind of mentioned that a lot of the times it's not a matter of if you're getting enough intake of iron. It's often purely has to do with your gut health and your ability to absorb it. And often we're told that that position in our body can't change, and that we have to take iron supplements that cause constipation, other side effects, stuff like that. Or possibly we are in need of iron infusions. And perhaps that is what works for you, and that's fantastic. And if you only have to do it once, then it turns everything on for you and it works great. But what could happen if we were able to really work on our gut health, and that iron coming from our food was then absorbable, and we wouldn't have to keep taking something to keep the iron levels up? What would that do, right? So I shared earlier on my news feed some of the symptoms of iron deficiencies. It is not just one single thing, but the most often what we hear is that fatigue that sets in, right? And so it's really hard to function when you have that fatigue. And it is super frustrating when you are doing everything you're being told to do and nothing works. I can imagine, right? I had a son, I still have a son. He no longer suffers from iron deficiency, but we went through this with one of my children when he was younger. And it was really frustrating to be giving him supplements. And at the end of the day, no change in the iron. And I remember feeling so frustrated because I was like, I'm doing all the things, I'm feeding him the right foods, I'm giving him all the right supplements. What is wrong? What's happening with the body? But when we start working on healing the gut and working on building the gut lining stronger through our collagen, collagen is not just for hair, skin, and nails, guys. I know that you've noticed a difference in anyone who's taking our collagen, you've noticed a difference. However, it is your gut lining, your connective tissues, your bone matrix. It's so much more. It's deep rooted in your health. And that is what's different about our collagen is it hits deeper, it works faster, it is more impactful, and taking away that pain point is just like a joy for me to be able to see someone be able to live their life in a better way. The Enrich is a digestive enzyme and pre and probiotic blend. So I call it our front to back full digestive gut health product, because it not only it helps right from the beginning of digestion that starts in your mouth all the way to the end with elimination. And so it breaks down all of our foods to the smallest molecular structure so we can actually access the nutrients, as well as increasing the absorption in our gut. And then it also helps with the elimination process to ensure that we're properly eliminating anything that shouldn't be staying in the body. So that is the short and sweet of it. You want more deeper details, reach out to myself, or if someone invited you to watch this video, reach out to them and they can give you a deeper dive into the ingredients, share more testimonies with you of what else these products can do for you, because it's not just about iron deficiency. It's so much more. And though we wanted to share tonight about that. Benny, do you want to add anything before we close this up?
I just want to thank Melissa and Chantel for sharing. And, you know, one of the reasons that we wanted to come live and share is that we're all here because someone shared with us and we've just experienced life-changing results. And I have not actually gotten my blood work done, but from you guys both sharing, I realized that the last time I did was about 1.5 years ago now. And they told me I was low in iron. And I went to get blood results done because I was exhausted all the time. And lo and behold, when I started using the Trinont products, my energy levels have gone way up. So I haven't actually gone for blood tests, but I know that I'm feeling good. And so thank you both for sharing, because this is going to make a difference for someone else and their quality of life.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much. Have an awesome night.
Bye, guys.